Alrighty, everybody, listening to Dash Pop X. We got Waterparks in the house.
Actually, you know what I need for this?
Houston's very own, right? If I'm
yes,
correct?
Houston.
Very
you got
much
it.
so.
Your
Okay,
notes were correct.
I got that correct. You never know. Well, it was really... You just have that on your phone ready to go?
Of course I have this on my phone.
And
I just got the better one, too, because the other had like a small delay.
What app is that? It's showing an air horn.
Ham horn.
Ham horn. You guys heard it here first on Dash Pop X. Ham? You said ham horn?
Ham horn.
Wow,
Ham horn.
Wow,
Yep.
wow. Well, I'm honored to have you guys here. The reason I was going to get Houston wrong is your name is Austin.
Very true. Mistakes happen. But
Did
you
that
know
happen
what?
as
We're
a
all
kid?
human.
Like, did people in Houston just like give you a
yeah,
bunch of
motherfuckers
trash
would be
for that?
like, oh, it's Austin from Houston. That's weird. And I'm like, is it?
Because I wanted to do it. I was like,
okay. I mean, in which case it is fine.
Deadass, like, honestly, it's you know, my name is my wand.
Yeah.
And people growing up, your wand, his wand, our wand, like everyone's wand. But like,
Yeah.
I wasn't. The town I was in wasn't your wand. You know what I mean? You're,
Right.
Houston and Austin don't really mesh. If I'm correct.
Not really. No,
Culturally.
Austin's like its own thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like Austin is straight up just bars and like barefoot people and like alcohol everywhere.
Yeah.
And then Houston has like neighborhoods and shit. I don't know.
So I think if I ask someone from Austin, they tell me Houston's barefoot people walking around.
No
bars and stuff.
way! Absolutely not. If
No
you're barefoot in
way.
Houston, you're
One
gonna.
of us is not being fully truthful.
Yeah,
If you're
someone's
barefoot and
lying.
walking around like Houston, you're gonna get lockjaw.
I actually lived in Austin for like a year,
Straight
did?
up.
and I can say that
Yeah?
anyone from Austin that calls Houston that just nothing there.
Yo, but they got
nothing-
Matthew McConaughey though.
Who? Austin?
All right.
Also,
All right.
all right, yeah, exactly. Also, I need props for like openly saying his last name, like attempting that, because normally I'm too scared too. I just kind of like
yeah.
Matthew McConaughey.
Yeah. Sounds like you guys discuss Matthew McConaughey a lot in the group.
He's dope.
Oh yeah. Oh
I
yeah.
actually I'm low-key. Live Nation won't let me on their Instagram anymore because last time I was on there, I DM'd him.
No, hold on. You were logged into Live Nation.
Yeah, I was doing one of those like takeover things
and
that
you use it as an opportunity to DM Matthew McConaughey.
and Kid Rock and Justin Bieber.
And they were mad about this. This is genius.
I agree.
I've used the Dash Radio
Network,
Instagram
baby.
numerous times.
I mean, I didn't tell them who I was. I was just
So
kind of
like
like,
before I was in a relationship,
Yeah,
there was
yeah.
numerous times. It happened on accident. The first time I went out to a bar, I do marketing here.
Yeah.
So at the time I'm logged into the IG, and this girl's like, grab me on IG, and I do. Next thing I know, she's like texting me like, where do you work? That looks kind of cool. And I'm like, how do you know about my? I accidentally folled her from Dash. So I did that. A couple
she thought you were
times.
flexing too.
Take this off the record. We're gonna have to edit this out. That's my job. But that's
funny.
Very bold of you, Austin.
I mean, I'm a bold
Very
person.
bold of you. Well, let's
Yeah.
talk about you guys in Houston. I see Houston on your
yeah.
cap. So you guys rep Texas like it's still deep rooted.
I have there's a grocery store there called HEB, and they have my favorite orange juice, and I have a framed picture of a glass of it on my wall in my bedroom because I miss
Wow.
it. I think about it.
Okay. What about you guys? Is
Oh, yeah.
Houston this
You still live there.
personable for you guys?
Yeah, he's still holding it down.
Yeah,
out there.
He's
see
the
it on
last
cap.
one.
Yeah.
I'm the
Oh,
last of
you're
them.
still there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What makes you not want to come out here to LA?
He hates it here. He's like, I love baseball. He's like, all I want to do is play baseball and hang out with my mom. And he gets stung. Dude, homeboy like gets stung by bees like every other week. Oh dang, that guy's mad. Oh shit, we made eye contact. Okay.
Yeah. Key mistake.
Otto's like, that's why I'm not moving here. No, no, Otto's always like, he's like, I think I might have to get a tetanus shot. I'm like, what the fuck, man?
Yeah,
Like,
that's we don't deal with that out here.
I'm like, were you jumping over a
But no,
fence? He's like, yeah.
You know what? I've talked to a lot of people who I work with an animator who went from Long Beach to Houston,
Yeah.
and he all his work's remote.
Yeah.
He's paying about a third of the rent he
Yeah.
used to pay,
Yeah.
and loving his life.
Oh, it makes me sick when I go home and open Zillow. I'm like, fuck you all.
I definitely plan on like whenever I do settle down, it'll probably be back in Houston.
When you decide to sell all your
We'll get some houses.
All my Pokemon cards, yeah.
So
Exactly.
everyone knows, everyone who rewatches this on YouTube,
Yeah.
listening to this on air, it's Jeff, right?
Yeah.
Because
Yeah, yeah.
it's spelled uniquely. I don't know if it's like
Yes.
Geoff.
Yeah.
Jeff.
It's pronounced goof.
Well, I'm gonna say Jeff. I'm not taking Austin's advice here.
Thank you.
Jeff has a immaculate Pokemon collection. You actually trade and play.
I do, yeah.
Which is so awesome.
I actually got back into it maybe a couple years ago too, so it's crazy how
it boomed
nuts
back
it's been
at the
going.
time.
Yeah,
Dude,
yeah.
so I was FaceTiming him, and he was like, "Look, I just got this card." I'm like, "Oh, that's pretty cool." He's like, "I actually have like more." And I'm like, "Okay, how many more cards you got?" And like, 'cause he had like a stack, and I was like, "Geez, man, you bought all that?" And I was like, "Okay." I was like, how many?" He's like, "Oh, well." And then he showed me like these long boxes he has full of cards, and I was like, "Jesus fucking Christ!"
Yeah,
Hey,
and then
I guess we better tour
and all
again.
these things.
It's an investment. Certain things like sports memorabilia, Pokemon, like a Rolex. When you buy a Rolex, it doesn't depreciate unless you break it. You know,
Yeah,
so
that's true.
Pokemon cards appreciated like a motherfucker. I'd say.
Now, Otto, on the other hand, collected Digimon cards, and he's so poor, and it's not going up in value. No, I'm totally kidding.
I never got into the swing of that, but I got swindled out of a really good card when I was younger. Apparently,
Which one?
It was, what was it? A holographic Zapdos.
Yeah.
Oh,
I think I traded for
Of
like
the three, those are the legendary birds.
Yeah.
I traded for like a muck.
Oh, was it holographic or no? Because Muck looks
I don't
dope.
know what a muck is, but based on that
He's
name,
big and
that's
Even the
Trash.
name itself should be like you have something that's like shiny. It's
It
like
rhymes with suck.
you
Zapdos.
literally-
And
Can I
they're
give-
like, I'll give you muck, and I'm like, all right.
You literally traded for garbage.
Yo, I want to give a quick anti-shout out.
Yes. Anti-shout. I've never done one of these. An anti-shout out.
You're about to.
Who
so
are we calling out?
this kid, when I was younger, tried to trade me a Charizard for an Arcanine.
Wow.
His name was Michael Bircham. I haven't talked to him in
Michael
like 20
Bircham.
years. Anyway, fuck you.
Yeah,
Fuck you, Michael
Hey,
Bircham, you little piece of shit.
I'd actually
I know
bet
what you were doing to me,
$100.
and I'm here now.
He's in jail now.
He is in
Someone
jail
who
now.
would do that at that age
Yeah.
has done so many worse
Fuck
things
that
as they've
kid.
gotten older. He's
I mean,
definitely in jail.
I said fuck that kid, but he's definitely older now. We're the same age.
Society got him. He's either in jail or
Yeah.
he's like a pastor. He either had a
Oh.
360 change or that way. But
I remember he had those stupid ass shirts that were like, save water, conserve water, let's shower together. I'm like, shut up. Like
hey,
FBI
and
female
you guys
body
are
inspector.
now
I'm like, die.
Waterparks, so maybe it comes together.
Yeah, there's those shirts at Kohl's for like 6th graders that are like kind of shitty. You know?
All right, we got to get into the music.
Why?
This is going to be a Pokemon
Why?
like, hour. No, because I have a lot of questions.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
So when I went to the album, Greatest Hits.
Yes.
First, I gotta say, why did you guys have to confuse me like that? I really thought it was the greatest hits.
It is.
But like, it's not a technical greatest hits. It's new music.
Yeah.
It might be, which I really thought was interesting because it is an interesting concept you're saying. And I wanted to ask you guys, were you guys saying that as like this is our greatest body of work
It's
to
bu-
date?
it's
This
a
is our
couple
greatest
things.
hits.
It's a couple
So yeah,
things.
what led you guys to name the album? Because it is confusing for someone who didn't know, you know.
Right. Also, Spotify got confused and they sent out a full email blast that was like a compilation of the best songs over the years. I was like,
hella confused. Like,
I was
why
like,
are they
it's
coming
fine.
in for an interview? They're retiring.
yeah, we're done. Why are we promoting
In
this?
general, a greatest hits is like an artist's last album to a label, or
Right.
they're legitly done and
Until they have a
wanna
comeback.
Yeah.
celebrate.
We were ready to
So,
look back
this
with
is-
fond memories.
This is not the conclusion
Yeah,
of anything.
it's
What
not.
was the driving? Why did you guys name it Greatest Hits?
Because so every like era or whatever is kind of defined by like a certain color palette or whatever. Normally, like I've got like first album I had like blue hair, second was purple, third was green, all that.
Rest in peace to the green hair.
Rest in
I was
peace.
gonna bring that up.
Yeah,
later.
yeah, no, it was good. I was actually just looking for a reaction photo of mine. I like to use like just me as reaction photos. Like people use GIFs and shit.
Yeah, yeah.
I have some very good ones of me. And I was actually just looking for one right before we started. I had green hair in it, so I was just like,
I couldn't do it.
I was like, this looks dope. But
So
I wanted.
this one's blue. The album cover's blue.
So this album album cover is 3 different colors because I was going for I wanted it to be like a multiple. How do I even want to fucking say it? I guess color palette. I was trying not to reuse it, but there we go. And so I hit Otto about it because we have like very similar views about a lot of things like artistic choices and all that. And we'd been trying to pick an album cover for a minute. I'd made like a million different things just to like try stuff out. And I'd always like put them next to the demos too, like in my iTunes, just to like
to see if it
fits visually. Right.
Yeah,
and
I like
nothing was
that.
really like aligning
hit.
perfectly. So I had the thought, and I called him. I was like, "You can say no to this because I know how we feel about this." But because it's greatest hits, why don't we put ourselves on the cover like people do for traditional greatest hits? And that way we can also control the color palette easier. Because I was like, check it. We'll wear all yellow clothes, have like we're on a fucking massive roof somewhere around here actually, and so we can get like the sky in the background. But then I was like, and for any of the shading, like anything that would be a shadow, like that would be like black or whatever, I want to make it like a reddish scarlety kind of thing. That way we can cover red, blue, and yellow. Because when you're doing primary, you have to kind of switch up tones and shit. Otherwise you'll be like Clown Town. But so I was like,
this
okay.
is above my intellectual level.
No,
like, I can't register colors to this point.
No, it's like when you go on
incredible.
like Microsoft Paint and you like do blue, red, yellow, like it looks clowny. So you have to like when you're doing that set, you have to like really play with shades and tones and all that.
Absolutely.
So we did this photo shoot and with Phil Knott, shout out, he's
Major
wild.
shout out.
Very good.
And was skimming through and I was like, these look like very good pictures of us, very good pictures, yes. This looks like a dope promo. This would be cool on a poster. This would be cool on a shirt. But then I saw that image and I was just like, oh shit, there it is. That's the one right there. Like it was just such a solid, like clear
You knew when you
answer.
saw it.
I saw it and I was like, oh, that's the one right there. Platinum record right next to that shit. Just right there.
Yeah.
And but anyway, the reason for the multicolor thing is because I wanted greatest hits to be like not like paying homage to the past or anything, but I wanted it to be basically a bunch of eras that people never got from us, like a bunch of like eras from like an alternate timeline, if you will, like all combined. And that's why head is multicolor. The logo for the album is like all different fonts and like different sets of like red, blue, and yellow. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And yeah, I mean, everything we've been doing for this cycle has been like in relation to that.
That's very interesting. Okay,
Thank you.
I'm glad I understand because I was like,
and also because it's fucking dope.
I'm like, yo, this is a good album. This shouldn't be their last album. You know what I mean? I'm like listening to greatest hits, and then the first thing I had to do was I listened to a couple of the songs. I was like, wait, what albums are these from? And then I very quickly realized it's not your greatest hits.
Right.
But you guys have a very interesting aspect to you, and what I mean by that is you guys are almost like the revival or like the last living essence of the golden age of pop rock.
You think so?
Pop rock, because to me, at least for everyone's, I'm 29.
Yeah.
So when I was in high school, it was Hoobastank, Good
Yeah.
Charlotte, My Chemical Romance, Fall Out Boys. Like I still vaguely remember hearing like, haven't you people ever heard of? Like that's what I grew up on.
Yeah.
And there's kind of been a lapse where pop has gone fully pop to me, or hip hop has become pop in a sense.
Right.
A lot of pop artists are rapping now, and a lot of rappers are doing pop now.
Yeah.
But you guys embodied Good Charlotte, My Chemical Romance, which I think is so interesting because you guys were managed by Benji and Joel, right?
Yeah.
It was almost
Shout
like
out Benji and Joel.
they like gave you what they had left, and they were like, take this into the next era. You know?
It's crazy because like you'll meet some people from that time, and some of them you feel like are like you get like a nervous energy almost where you can tell like people really want to hold on to like what they have and blah blah blah. Benji and Joel have you get no weird vibes like that at all. There's no like weird ego shit. Like from day one, they were just like, this is dope and we want to help elevate this.
That's amazing. How did you guys meet them? Because they co-produced. Benji co-produced your first album.
Yeah.
It's fascinating. Like
it was crazy. Like I got a DM on Twitter from one of them. I forget which one, only because at the time they had the same profile picture.
you hadn't met them yet, and they
no.
DM'd you?
And they DM'd, and I was just like,
wow.
I was just like, oh shit. And, 'cause, dude, like we didn't like know anybody like in the industry or whatever. Like we would just pass out CDs and flyers and like and we were doing everything, like booking our shows, like designing our merch, like mailing shit. Like we were just like handling our shit. And I got this DM and I was just like, fuck.
I remember getting a call.
Yeah, and I was just like, yo. And then they were like, you guys are really dope. Like we'd love to like talk sometime or meet up or whatever. And I was just like, okay. And we had actually just signed to this label and they hit us. We had planned on going out to LA like the next month or something to like check out studios or something to like make an EP. and actually they just wanted us to make a single because they didn't believe in us. Eat my shit. And so sorry, I'm sorry. And
I love this. We're keeping that. That is going on
keep
YouTube.
it. Fuck them.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
and I was babysitting every day at the time. I'm so good with kids. And shout out me.
Good
I'm
for
kind.
you.
Bring
I
me
can't
home to your parents.
I can't stand kids. I'm like scared to have them.
I saw the shittiest one last night ever. I
man,
hated
he
that
was-
kid
he was
What do
so
you
much.
mean,
terrible.
like met a kid?
No, like we were in line. We were about to get ice cream because we were celebrating. We're like, boom, bitch, album,
Yeah.
and our team's birthday. So he was, no, he bailed on us, but we still went and got ice cream.
Yeah.
Nice.
And you had
Wow.
beef with a kid out there in the
Oh,
street?
shittiest kid I've ever seen. We were in line, and he was yelling at his mom and shit, and like pushing her, and I was just like, I can't handle this shit. Like,
Yeah.
like
I'm
we were all
dying,
brought
man.
up to be decent
Yeah,
fucking
yeah.
people.
I
And this
can
kid's like,
tell, I can tell.
I'm
And he's
mom.
like,
You don't
I
know."
hate my life. And
Yeah, he's like, I wish I was
standing in
getting
line
ice
to
cream
get
with my
ice
dad.
cream.
Wow.
You're like,
I was just like literally like kick him into traffic, like kill this kid.
Yeah.
He doesn't deserve life. I don't
we
give
grew
a
up.
shit.
We grew up. We will edit that out.
Why?
We grew up differently though. Like when I grew up, it was like fully acceptable for me to get my ass beat by my
Yes.
older siblings or my
Yeah.
mom.
Oh, yeah.
I feel like this new generation has like a shield of social media. You know, like
Yeah.
if you're gonna hit them, they could be like, "Hit me, mom."
Oh, dude,
I'll put it
no.
on TikTok.
If I was young and my mom wanted to smack me in the head today, I'd be like on TikTok, like, do it. I dare you.
Absolutely. It's a different time. But speaking of TikTok, you guys actually went viral on TikTok, right?
Boy, yep.
Yeah.
It's never a good thing to go viral because then people find you.
Yeah.
And then, oh my God.
yeah, I know what you mean.
It sounds like it wasn't a good moment for
Oh,
you
no,
guys.
no, it
I
was.
thought it was
It
a
was.
milestone.
I promise it was.
My bad. Let me erase this from the
No, it's totally good. And you should definitely keep it. But I mean, like, normally, if like a tweet or something gets too big, like weird people find you and
Yeah.
everybody nitpicks things, and you're like, I'm just going to delete this. It's fine. But yeah, that's what going viral is like.
But
You're
you
just like,
guys-
who are you people?
Were you guys familiar with TikTok before you went viral on it?
Not at the
all.
time.
Yeah.
It
Interesting.
wasn't really as.
We've
Well,
been
at
like,
the time, at the time, it was like, I don't know. It just didn't seem like a thing I was interested in.
Or I guess it's popular at the time anyway.
Yeah,
It
because
was
you
popular
guys,
enough.
You guys went
Popular
viral
enough, but-
earlier, and not earlier,
Yeah.
earlier, but like now TikTok is a
TikTok's
household
like,
name.
yeah,
Yeah.
straight
You guys
up.
went viral on it a little bit before that.
Uh-huh.
So did it bring your attention to TikTok?
It did, and then the label was like, "You should make a TikTok," and I was just
Yeah.
like, "Oh, fine."
Bro, I
And-
was the same way until you see all these songs that chart.
Dude, I love TikTok now. It's so much better
Oh,
than
really?
everything
I can
else.
see you on there. You're so
It's
alive.
I'm not good at it. Like I just post like dog shit. Like it's just me and like just literally nothing. Like I'll say something for like 10 seconds, then I'm just like peace.
Yeah,
But I
yeah.
like to watch it. Twitter makes me sad
absolutely.
because everybody's very cynical and like weird, and they're like, my therapist, this, that. Like,
Yeah.
and then Instagram, I don't know, it bums me out for some reason.
Nah, Instagram's it's a very socially powered space now, and there's so much going on in the
Yeah.
world. I feel like whenever you go to Instagram, it's good that people are reminding us of all the things that need to be changed and that are happening. But TikTok, you get less of that. TikTok
Yeah.
is just pure entertainment.
Well, and then
'Cause it's Gen
Instagram, you
Z.
open it and it's like from Facebook, and it makes me feel sick, and then I close it. 'Cause
Absolutely.
I hate
Yeah.
Mark Zuckerberg.
Absolutely. Who likes the guy, right? Let me
Yeah.
ask you guys: is Mark Zuckerberg or Elon Musk an alien? You guys had to stop and think.
I'm thinking. I don't wanna get the wrong
love how
answer.
you three had to stop and think. Like, are they aliens?
Listen, I think Mark Zuckerberg is like a gross lizard person.
I can see that. Yep.
Elon, I don't know. I feel like he's just a weird super genius.
I think he already has a chip in his head. You know, it's like chip
Yeah.
he's like speaking on.
He's got Google in his head already.
I'm telling you, man. There's times in that Joe Rogan episode where he's like calculating, looking up, and I'm like, what are you looking at?
He's like compute.
Yeah. Well, definitely a weird guy, but I want to ask about technology in your music because you guys being a band, traditionally bands are analog, we should say, like
Right.
drums, guitar, and everything's a live instrument. But the year 2021, that's ridiculous concept.
Yeah.
But you guys have a good mix of that, right? Like digital versus analog.
Yeah, like if something is more if something has more electronic or programmed elements, usually make it a point to bring in a lot more like organic sides to it. You know what I mean? Like
yeah.
if like let's say like the drums are programmed, I'll be like, let's stack it with like a bunch of real big guitars coming through amps, and then I've also I have like a million different shakers and
interesting.
tambourines and all this shit. And like I've been using silverware and shit. Like just
Wow.
anything that makes it feel like more
Yeah.
like organic. And that's not. And the thing is, when you say like organic versus, it's like there's such a weird, stupid thing between saying like calling one thing real and that because that implies that the other is not. And
Absolutely.
it's like such an odd.
It's just like a different sound. At the
Yeah.
end of the
Yeah,
day,
but
it's-
I think having a balance or like knowing when to use certain things is kind of like a very key part of what we do.
So in the creation of your songs, do most of them begin analog or they begin digital, or is it just a,
It honestly,
toss
It
up?
just depends on the song,
Yeah, it
right?
varies.
yeah, it really depends on the song, and I know it's like a dumb answer.
No,
like, I wish
that makes sense. It makes sense.
but
He
like
might-
sometimes there's like
Jeff might start the song on the key on the guitar, actually.
right,
Yeah.
Or
and
you might start it digitally with.
yeah, or there'll be like a key progression that I'll
Yeah,
make in like
yeah,
FL or
yeah.
whatever, and then fly it over, and I'm like,
I gotta
Alright.
ask about that. You wrote, which is so funny. I watched an interview where you were talking with a paper plate,
yeah,
and I almost wanted to bring paper plates, but I was like, people might not
Hey.
be able to relate. I thought that was hilarious. But you do most of your music on Reaper and
and FL
Fruity Loops.
Studio, yeah.
I've made music since I was in high school.
Mm-hmm.
Excuse me, maybe I'm ignorant. What the fuck is Reaper?
Reaper is like an open source DAW. It's like
You're using an open. You guys are out here winning awards on an open source DAW.
yes, baby. It's free. No, but you can either get the free one or you can pay them $60 for it if you want to. I just did that because I was like, you know what? I've been using this for free since like 2014.
Donation.
Yeah, I was like, you know what? You
You're
guys
still
earned my
using
$60.
this?
Yeah.
You're still using Reaper.
Every demo.
Yeah.
Why? I just gotta ask because you guys have
Here's
the
the
resources.
thing. Here's the thing. Like producer friends, like always get on me about it. They're like, try Logic, man.
Absolutely, yeah.
I downloaded Logic. I paid for it. I got a bunch of plugins and shit. I tried it for a couple months and I was like, this is terrible. Like I hate this. Like everything feels like so counterintuitive for me at this point because I'm so familiar with
that
the
makes
other.
sense.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
And plus with Reaper, like you can move anything around to like be how you want. Like everything is like you can manipulate anything so easily.
I'm so perplexed right now. I've never heard anybody. I ask a lot of producers, especially, and you guys are also heavily instrumental in the production
Yeah.
of music. I'm always like, what do you use? And I always like to learn. And I saw that
It's always
interview.
like Pro Tools, Logic, Ableton.
You said Reaper, and I
yeah.
quickly did a search. I put Reaper, and then I
Uh-huh.
put Waterparks. So I thought maybe you guys owned the company.
Whoa!
So I'm like, what is these guys are like trying to push a new DAW? And
That's
everything?
hard,
Don't get
yo.
thrilled.
But you've actually been using Reaper,
Since
Yeah.
2014.
which really goes to show a point that I think the younger generation specifically
Yeah.
needs to understand. There's no excuse anymore.
There's really
No,
not.
yeah.
Soulja
Yo.
Boy defined a generation in his mom's closet.
Yup.
Yeah.
He literally created Crank That in the bedroom.
Yo,
in
and
the
3
closet.
people did it at my high school talent show, and all of them beat me. So,
I mean, there's
That
no
tells you
excuse.
anything.
There's no
Yeah.
excuse at
Yeah.
all.
Yeah.
Now let's get into.
I've been using the same guitar too, the same one I've had since I was 16. It's on every demo.
Wow. Wow. Really, it really goes to show when you're creating art in 2021, and for the last like 5 years, 6 years, there is no excuse.
No.
Not to say that like great music might not make it. The cream isn't always gonna rise to the top.
Right.
But there's no excuse to not make that cream and to not make something so good. Yeah, it came out weird.
Sorry.
You're gonna have to edit that. But let me ask you guys about the greatest hits is it 16 songs?
17.
17
It's our longest album
songs,
for sure.
No guest features, right? Unless you just didn't put it in the
So
parentheses
that's
for
the
me to
thing.
miss.
I hit a bunch of friends about being on it, but I don't like putting featuring.
So there is
whoever.
people on the
Yeah.
album. Got it.
And it's mainly people doing like backup stuff or harmonies or like
Yeah.
layers or playing a different instrument.
Yeah.
Which is honestly how it's supposed to be. This whole thing
Yeah.
of like putting everyone's name on there, it's really like
Yeah.
clout chasing.
Yeah.
One way or another. It doesn't have to be there. Like
Yeah.
J. Cole's album. I didn't know Lil Baby was on it.
Yeah.
I heard the song and I can't remember which one
You're
it
like,
was. But I
wait.
was like, is this Lil Baby?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So
I think it's cooler that way. It's kind of like, I don't know. And plus, it lets songs that are like honestly good rise up. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Because if someone sees featuring so and so, they're probably just going to click that because.
and you get an expectation.
Right.
Yeah.
You
And
know?
so,
Exactly.
and plus, like, and if they're not doing like their full own parts, people are going to be like, where were they?
Yeah,
You know?
yeah,
And like, you never
absolutely.
want friends to feel like you're like using them because like I mean, when you're like in a band and you tour a bunch and you just know people, like naturally you make those friends, but you never want to feel like you're using anyone.
Absolutely, absolutely. Now let's talk about the writing.
Let's do it.
who writes the lyrics? Is it all you guys?
I handle lyrics. Yeah.
You handle all the lyrics.
Yes, sir.
How did you write 17 songs? How long have you been working on this album?
Hey,
There were more.
There were
Oh,
more.
I imagine.
there were
I think
108.
I imagine
over
for
the
every,
pandemic.
like 5 songs you make, you're gonna release. Which it's
Yeah.
pretty accurate on the average. But
I'm always writing.
wow, fascinating.
And there's like a bunch that stuff gets written that doesn't get used all the time.
Sure.
You know what I mean? Like
Do you
it's
write the lyrics or do you go off the production? Sorry, do you produce around your lyrics or do you write around
again,
your
it's
production?
both. I hate giving like
no, it's just
non-concrete
it's
answers
obvious.
like that,
Makes
but
sense.
Yeah.
yeah, I mean sometimes I'll have an idea for a hook and like legit just like hear the entire song already. I'm like, oh shit, okay, now I just have to like get it out.
Yeah,
And
write this.
that's where being able to produce comes in handy because
Absolutely.
when we first started, I'd be like, okay, I want you to be like, ooh, but then make it like choppy, and then like also make sure you cut the vocals. Like I was trying to like explain shit to friends in garages that just did not give a shit.
Yeah.
So being able to like sit down and actually put in that time and be able to like put down those ideas is so helpful.
Absolutely.
It definitely was a big moment whenever he started learning how to do that. Like the songs immediately.
Like everything just
went to
elevated.
the
And
next
then we
step.
got signed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a sign. Start producing if you're
And-
watching this or listening to this.
And major shout out to 300
Yep.
ENT.
Yep.
Yeah.
Anyone they've shot us over. One of my favorite things about the talent they work with is that they're talented. I don't
Hey.
mean to knock this current generation of music, but talent, you don't have to have talent necessarily to make it. Like, I hate to bring up Rebecca Black, but I know her. She's cool. Rebecca Black, shout out. She blew up off just like a viral moment, but
Right.
300's done a really good job of handpicking people who are actually wildly talented. And each one of you guys really has like musical talent that can live on its own.
Thank you.
Thank you very
She's
much.
been making like dope songs
She's back.
lately, right?
Rebecca Black is black.
Yeah. She didn't she do a thing with Dorian Electra?
Yeah,
That's
she
dope.
recently redid her original Friday.
Really?
Friday. Yeah, we actually had her on Dash. She was talking about the mental health.
Yeah.
Dude,
being an
Arc is
artist.
weird, man. Arc Music Factory, that's the company that made Friday. I watched so many of those videos. One of them gets stuck in my head every like 3 months. It's like, I love Chinese food. Hey. Like, and it gets stuck in my head so,
It
and
was
I get
almost like
mad. I'm like,
the-
fuck you, man. Like,
It was like the Lou Pearlman Backstreet Boys in sync thing. It starts with like a parent who wants to support their kid,
Right.
Who's willing to let another adult help their kid, not realizing.
did she explain how that worked?
Who?
Rebecca, did she tell you like,
Yeah, she said it was kind of like she went. It was like, hey, we want her to be a musician.
was she like approached in like a mall or was it email or like how did that work?
Oh, I don't remember.
Not to
Don't-
totally pivot and make this interview.
Absolutely. I don't remember it. To be
Okay.
honest with you, I
Yeah,
just
yeah.
remember the song was brought to her like, "You're gonna sing this." She didn't write that.
Gotcha,
None of that
gotcha.
was her song. But,
Interesting.
nonetheless, you guys were actually very talented, and
Thank you.
I wanted to ask. I know Jeff, you're a big Linkin Park fan.
Oh
right?
yeah.
What kind of inspiration were you more inspired by, like Mike Shinoda, Chad Bennington, or just the whole group?
It was basically mainly the whole group. I just had never heard of like a rock group that had put in like the fucking like all the cool sounds and
Like
things,
turntables
like
and shit?
turntables
Yeah.
and any electronics, any like that's like
Yeah,
one
all
of
their
the
keyboards and
things-
programming are like amazing.
Yeah, that's one of the things that like I've always wanted to be in a band that was like around that kind
That was
of,
hard.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I love Linkin Park.
Yeah.
And that they're definitely my biggest inspiration. It's the whole band pretty much.
Okay.
Yo, Otto and I were driving back to my place the other night listening to the Live in Texas audio. Dude, Chester sounds sounds fucking mean. He sounds tough. Like he throws in like so many extra
Oh, yeah.
things where it's like,
Yeah.
you live what you like it's like super deep and you're like, whoa shit. Like
No,
he's not
Chester's
ready.
voice is 101. There's,
Yeah,
like, there's certain
the
voices.
part where he's like,
Yeah.
like a place to go inside, and it wakes when I close
Yeah.
my eyes.
Yeah.
He sounds so mean
Yeah.
in the live version. I'm like, holy shit.
Do you guys remember their collaborative album with Jay-Z?
Of
Oh,
fucking
yeah.
course I do.
Collision Course?
Yeah.
I still
Dude.
go through that track 1 through 6 every week. It's
Yeah.
like,
So good.
I'm obsessed with that album. And I wanted to ask you guys, who's your Collision Course? If Waterparks was to make an
Oh
album,
man.
it doesn't necessarily have to be hip hop, but I think
Yeah.
hip hop's a natural fit next to your music.
Yeah. Yeah.
I have my answer in my head. I want to hear who
Do
you guys
you?
think. I've been thinking about it
Whoa.
all day. I think I have the perfect answer for you guys.
Oh fuck. Okay. Well, hang on. I want to give a good answer.
Fun fact: after that album, Fall Out Boy and Ludacris did a joint album.
What?
Or was it Good Charlotte and Ludacris? Ludacris attempted the same thing and it sounded horrible. It just
Oh,
it
no!
wasn't natural.
Shout out Ludacris.
It was kind of forced. You could tell the labels were like, "Hey, it worked over there."
Got you.
Let's do the Same
Interesting.
thing here.
This is really hard.
I'll tell you who I think.
Please.
Chance the Rapper.
Whoa! I would love that.
Yeah, because Chance is like, I love Chance the Rapper.
Yeah, same.
I used to work with Nate Fox. Love White.
Whoa, okay.
Shout out to the whole group, White Sox,
Yeah.
all them. But Chance is the most pop friendly rapper.
Okay.
And his voice would sound so well on
It
your
makes me feel
instrumentation.
good. Like
Yeah.
his voice just makes me feel happy. I'm just like, oh
And
my god.
Waterparks just makes you feel happy, you know?
Yeah.
Fact.
So I think you
Oh,
guys
yeah.
and Chance, I want to manifest it now.
Hey,
Not just
all
a
right.
collaboration. I think you guys would do great to do like a joint
Tashana, can we
project
do that?
together.
All right.
Oh yeah.
I'll
Yo,
text
Coloring
Nate
Book's
Fox
in my top
right now.
15. Like I
Yeah.
love that album.
Yeah.
No, he's incredible. Incredible.
Yeah.
But you guys have been very consistent since 2016.
Yeah.
But your first 5 years as a band were, you started in 2011.
Yeah.
And then you didn't drop your debut. I know you had an EP. What's the name of the EP?
It was called Airplane Conversations. It was
Cluster, no?
Cluster
Cluster.
was our first label one in 20.
Yeah.
It dropped in 2016, early 2016, but we
Okay.
recorded it
So
2015.
what were those 5 years where you guys were maybe
So
discovering
here's
yourself
what's
as a
up.
group?
Okay. In 2011, I was sort of like conceptualizing this, but I feel like we started in 2012 because that's when
Yeah.
we like did the EP, got these guys involved, put that out in April, played our first show August of that year.
Yeah.
That's when we really started doing stuff, and like every other day we'd be like at a venue promoting. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I would have printed up flyers over at the Kinko's and cut them. The people knew me there.
Yeah.
And if I had any extra money that week, which I never had extra money, but if I had like anything to spare at all, I'd get some blank CDs and I'd be like burning them while I'm doing like homework and shit.
Yeah.
Like, okay.
There was this like he had this
I'd have to write
little
the songs on the back of each thing.
like a coin. It was like I don't know what it was. It was an old like jug of some sort that we used to.
Oh
put,
yeah, I had a change jug.
Yeah.
And so I would,
Coinstar,
if I was like,
major
shit,
shout out
Dude, yeah.
Coinstar.
shout out Coinstar.
That
We go to the
9 cents per
Kroger.
dollar though is way too high.
I know, but I didn't have an option. I couldn't pay with pennies and nickels
bro,
everywhere.
I'm still going
Yeah.
to Coinstar once in a while. Don't even trip.
No, that saved that change
Well,
jug.
that's
is my-
incredible. Like
Yeah.
a lot of the reasons I love to interview artists is to like generally give the blueprint to the next generation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kids can't be lazy. Like you were going to Kinko's and cutting your own flyers and shit,
Yeah.
burning your own albums.
Yeah.
It sounded
Yeah.
like.
My computer would get so hot. It was so like it was not a good computer. It was like the cheapest HP.
Yeah, I did
Yeah.
my first stuff on
Yeah.
HP too.
We had to invest in a stamp
We eventually had to get a stamp, and we were like, "Can we afford this?"
What was the stamp for?
because
So
on
because
the,
it had the
s-
track
on the,
titles.
on the sleeves, like the paper
Yeah.
sleeves.
We'd
that
have to
we would get.
write all the
You guys
song
couldn't
names.
print. It was cheaper to do
Well,
that
we'd be
than to print.
handwriting, and we'd be like, we were like
It was
mass
taking
producing
so much
them.
time.
Yeah.
Dude, because
Yo,
we'd
thank
get
God you
like
guys
300
made it, man.
CDs,
Y'all
and
were
we'd be like,
struggling back then.
We were definitely.
yeah, and then I'd take a
doing-
break from that and like
doing a
type on
lot.
my computer for like homework, and then go back to writing, and then be like, "Okay, guys, at 6, the show is letting
We
out
had
at
like a whole like there was
9,
like a
10.
whole thing we had like
Like an assembly
you had
line?
yeah basically
Yeah.
Wow.
he'd like write on like the CDs and stuff and then
At
pass them over
Waterparks.
to like the laptop where we would burn
where you
burn
guys
the
are now.
demos
Yup.
and everything.
Where
Yeah.
there's teams of
Dude,
people doing this for
The
you guys.
weirdest part, though, was when, after Benji and Joel hit us up and after we were signed and we went to LA and we were like, this is the weirdest, because we're just like, we'd never left Texas before. You know what I mean? Like I saw snow for the first time in 2016.
Yeah.
And like, it was just such a fucking weird thing. We were like, oh my, like we're in the hotel afterwards after like meeting them. We were like, what the fuck, man? And then, yeah, we're like playing it cool with them. But then we go back to Houston, and I'm like back at my parents' house. Like Jeff's on my top bunk. We're kind of like, we're like, now what?
Yeah. Right?
And so we're like still out there like promoting, but we can't tell anyone we're signed yet, or that we're like managed by them or anything. So we're just like still outside of like 300 cat places, being like, check it out. Be like, dude, oh man,
They
this is
don't know
weird.
yet.
They don't know yet. We can't tell them. This
Yeah.
sucks.
Yeah.
That's fat, man. You guys got a chance. I wanted to also shout out the bass player from My Chemical Romance.
Yeah, Mikey Way.
Mikey
yeah.
He's the boy.
He must have not. I don't know. I don't want to say he helped you guys, but it must have been cool to have somebody with this experience.
Oh my
Dude,
God,
yeah, when he came through the studio because he knew Benji and Joel, and we were just like, oh shit, hey. And so we talked to him for a while. And then after we had like hung out for a few hours, I was like in the kitchen area, and Benj was like, "Yo, like, would just like between us, like, would you want Mikey to play on the EP? Because like he like really likes it." And I was just like,
Yeah, duh.
Yeah.
I'm like, what?
That
Like,
might,
you know
that
what I
might be
mean?
the
Yeah.
most rhetorical question.
Yeah, I
in
was like,
history
"Are
of
you
rhetorical
fucking kidding me
questions
right
asked.
now?"
Like,
Yeah.
what do you think? Yes.
I'm like, yeah, yeah, do it. And then he brought his bass over from like the Danger Days era, like the glittery one.
Yeah.
And we were like, oh, whoa. Like, actually, yeah, I
I've
think
got
all
it.
of us have. But like Otto
Yeah.
and I were sitting there, like we used to watch like their Reading and Leeds sets, and he like that was the bass from it.
Wow.
And so he took it out, and we were like, whoa, shit. And he did his stance like from like when they're performing. Like he has like a very specific way he stands when he plays.
Yeah.
And he was doing it in the studio. We're all just like.
So was that the moment?
Like, I don't know
or-
where to put my fucking
I wanted
hands.
to ask, what was the moment when Waterparks knew you weren't going to do anything else for the rest of your life?
8th grade.
Yeah.
But
God damn, you guys are confident.
For all of that,
Really?
it had to be.
manifest it. Also,
Wow.
what was I eating these M&Ms off of? That looks like a.
Plus,
No.
we hit that
What's
point
that?
where all of our eggs were in that basket too, so it was like it's got to be
At
that.
a young age like that?
Yeah, actually.
Wow.
Yo, I was playing his bass at one point, cause like we were just like hanging out and shit. That's me, like when we had first come to LA playing Mikey's bass.
Yeah.
I can't even see your face.
I was about to say, it's the top of my
I
head,
get,
but,
a
like-
younger vibe. Like, top of your head look mad
Top
young.
of your head looks so
That's
like new.
ridiculous. But I wanted to ask you guys.
Shout out the
because-
dark blue
We're
hair.
wearing the pinwheel hat.
Yeah.
Yeah, shout out to everybody who's helped these young men get to where you are, because now you guys have the same opportunity to help out others.
It's true.
You know?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But so one of my favorite songs listening to the EP or the album, excuse me, and I understand why you released it first, is Lowkey as hell.
Uh-huh.
And I wanted to ask you guys to give me an answer from like Jeff. I want to hear something about Austin something about Otto. What's something, for example, about Austin that's like high key, low key?
Okay, Otto low-key, his entire fucking life, he has no social media. He barely has email. I had to beg him.
Bro, you're in the music game. You could be making money.
He
on the
doesn't give a
side.
shit.
Good for you though, because what that does for your mental health, the
Oh,
amount
yeah.
of
Oh, no.
stress we dealing with all this social media crap.
Everything's
Yeah.
rose colored.
Okay, so
See-
low key, high key, Otto has no social
No,
media.
dude, I was like, please, like he used to have like a weird fucked up like Comcast dot something.
Okay.
And like I would send
I-
him attachments like demos, and he couldn't open them. Or if he emailed me, I'd see like
Yeah,
I'd see message from user
I think
or something,
here's
and I was like, oh, it was like a beeper. I'd be like, he's
Okay.
trying to contact me,
Here's-
but I don't know why.
Here's what happened. I think at one point I had a legitimate email server, and then like I think the company got bought out, and they like closed the server. But it was like
Bro,
a
this-
ghost account. I could still send
This
emails
is
out to him.
wild.
Kinda.
That's
Well,
funny.
yeah, kinda. But
You could let people know you wanted to send them.
it
an
would be
email.
like more just
Yeah.
mysterious.
Do you
'cause
have an
he'd-
iPhone right
He'd
now?
get a message from
He
me
does
being like,
It has a button though.
it'd be a message or something being like, "What time are we gonna practice?" And it would just say like from default user.
Yeah,
and he'd
from
be like,
default user is what it would say, and I was just like, okay, let me just fucking call him. I'm like, what?
That is wild.
We were so
Yo,
proud of him
so
when he got an
in,
iPhone.
like,
You
20
guys made it this far. and one of your
2014 or
members isn't
15.
digital?
Yeah, 2014 or 15. I was like, you have to get Gmail. And he's like, all right, how much does it cost? And I was just like,
You should have been like, look, 20 a month. Give me the 20.
yeah, I was like, I'll cover
Give
it
me
for
10
you.
a month. I'll do the other
like,
half.
"How much do you
Man.
have?"
Okay, so that blew my mind. We could see and
As
talk
far
like
as
5
high key?
hours about that.
High key, he's like a serial killer. Like I think because I never know where he is or what he's doing, and so if he ends up
And he
on
doesn't have
Netflix
social
in like
media.
5 years, called it.
Have you ever been to the Cecil Hotel in downtown LA?
Oh man.
Sounds like you got like
Yo.
a monthly
I just watched the
I used
documentary
to
on
watch
that.
stuff about that, and
Yeah.
like, what year did that happen? Because I remember like watching it on
There's
YouTube
so
a
many
bunch when I lived at my
different
parents'
occurrences.
house.
Lisa Lamb or
Yeah,
Lisa
yeah.
Lamb, I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was our time, like 09 probably.
That's what I'm
Yeah.
saying. Like when that
Yeah.
happened, I remember like watching all the YouTube videos at my parents' house, being like, "Oh my
The
god!"
Night Stalker
Yeah.
stayed there. Not that
Yeah.
I know this.
Yeah, right?
You're like, "He's my dad."
He walks in, they're like, Otto, hello, sir. What about Austin? What do you guys have that's, something low key
How
but
am I
high
low-key?
key about him that we don't know that you
Nothing
guys know?
low-key about it.
What's up? Say it.
Something about Austin that we don't know yet.
Come on, dude.
Or the fans might not know.
Say something. Otto, come on.
I feel like Austin's in a gang. I don't know what gang you're in because you're.
Do they know that you collect your fingernails?
No, now they do.
You collect your fingernails.
I'm saving them for a special time because check this out. It's not technically
I don't judge you, by the
illegal.
way. This is really cool.
It's not technically illegal to put fingernails in someone's food. And if I ever really wanted to get back at somebody, I have like so many.
Get the out of here. This is why you're keeping it?
Crunchy,
This is like
crunchy bite.
part of a revenge plot?
Yeah.
And
I've
I'm
been
the
saving them for
serial
Wow.
killer.
You are the serial killer. They're my.
you thought
You
this
keep
was a
other
serial
people's
killer.
fingernails. I keep my own.
It's like
Well,
one
I don't
time.
feel safe.
No one's gonna listen to this
My
band
name is
after
Michael.
this.
Okay, well that's really interesting and neat.
Yeah,
I
because
guess. I didn't
if
know about
like
that.
if there was ever like a time when I was like, all right, now, and then I could like somehow get them in someone's food and they have to eat it, I'd just be like, what are you gonna do? DNA
All
test
right.
it? Maybe. Then what? Be mad.
I'll tell you what, 300. Do not piss off Austin. You guys will be eating.
They're in New York.
nails.
They're too far away.
You can find a way where there's a will.
Ah.
There's a way. Now, what about Jeff? What's something low key, high key about Jeff?
Jeff has like a lizard that's like this long and he doesn't want it, but it lives at his house.
It's huge. Yeah.
That's pretty high key.
Yo, that's high key crazy. Why is a lizard there?
Let me find the video. 1 second.
Did you adopt
so,
it? Like you saw
yeah,
it
we
on the
adopted.
streets?
So, my girlfriend
Texas is
Chloe, she is in love with animals,
And
and
Jeff.
one of them happens to be this Argentinian like red tegu.
I don't look at me. I have no idea.
I'm trying to find the video because he's massive, but he's legitimately like this big from here to here.
And you're trying to get rid of it.
No, he's not.
I
He's
mean-
holding it.
He just, I felt like a negative energy from him. He's like, yeah. Like he doesn't go home and
He's not
Get
like,
happy.
oh baby, yeah. Like kiss it on its lizard
Man, what do
lips.
you even do with a lizard that big?
Yeah.
That's like a Rottweiler, but a lizard. It's like a Rhodesian.
Pretty
lizard.
much.
Rottweilers are better.
It does greet him like a dog, though.
Does it?
Yeah.
He also has a dog that doesn't love me, and it fucking broke my heart.
Well, you've only met her like twice, maybe.
Well, you know, dogs can like read a human being.
Normally they love
You're
me. That's the
definitely
thing.
a serial killer for sure, bro.
Fuck that. Here's
Between
the thing. I don't like
fingernails,
blood.
Dogs don't like you.
I don't like
You met
blood.
a child last night you hate.
I fucking hate
Like
that.
you still
kid.
got beef with this little
Beat
child,
that kid's
man.
ass, like straight up. But like,
Yeah.
no, I don't like blood. If I stabbed somebody,
Okay.
I'd throw up.
Got
First
it,
thing.
got it.
I would throw up, and then
That could be your calling card.
I also have like a crazy guilt thing. Like I feel guilty over like anything. Like my conscience just won't let me live. And if I killed somebody, oh my god, I couldn't go on.
Good to know.
Imagine my surprise, though, when I have a catch-up phone call with Jeff, and I'm like, hey, how you doing? And he's like, oh, I'm doing all right. Not too much going on. Got a lizard. And I'm like, I'm thinking, oh, like, that's benign and cool. And then he's like, here, check it out. And it doesn't even fit in frame.
Yeah.
That's awesome. You guys are three unique individuals.
Like, oh, you got a lizard.
And I think this is what makes Waterparks so dope. Is you guys are all different.
Hey.
And I want to personally thank you guys for reviving a genre to me that was like fading away, pop rock.
So I'll put my hand in the frame in a second
For
See?
everybody else.
Bro, this is an alligator.
That's what I'm saying. Tashana, you see this?
Jeff, you're crazy.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't like that.
Yo, that thing eats better than me. Whatever it was eating, like
He's
I-
eating-
He's eating eggs.
Jesus.
Hey, his name happens to be Charizard.
Wow.
Yeah.
We have come full circle. We started this interview talking about Pokemon. I wanted to, is there anything, or I just wanted to see if there's anything you guys wanted to maybe announce to the fans. I know you just had your album come out. You're going to be touring again soon, I imagine.
Let's see. I just put out a fake Zane Lowe interview where I downloaded a bunch of interview clips
Of Zane Lowe.
of Zane Lowe interviewing people, and then I answered all of them. But I also like
This is
I-
genius.
but I also double committed, and I went and I bought every outfit that he has, like in all the interviews. And so anytime I answer something, I'm in his clothes.
Wow. Okay.
What
so
else do I want to say? We're gonna go on tour.
You got a tour coming out soon?
I'm gonna give you a city. Hold up. I'm not supposed to, but we're going to goddamn Lawrence, Kansas. Well, we're gonna hit LA, of course. And
Wait,
we
is
get
this real
one more.
or is this joking?
Oh no, this is real
Otto's
shit.
laughing.
I'm not supposed to
All
say
right,
these
no
yet.
one's going-
One more. Which one? You pick.
Don't implicate me in this.
Come on.
All right.
Don't sound too excited. Come on.
Fine.
He's like, oh, we're going to.
We're going to Silver Spring, Maryland.
Oh.
They're going to Maryland. They're coming to LA. And then we're going to Kentucky. No.
Actually, I don't think we're going to Kentucky. I don't think we've ever been there. They got venues.
I'm gonna do my best to catch you guys at one of these shows.
Hey,
Yes, please.
I
talk to
appreciate
this
you
man
guys
right here.
coming in. You guys have revived a subgenre of music that I grew up off. So
Hey.
Good Charlotte and My Chemical Romance did a good job picking their senpais, as we say. Because you
Hey.
guys are crushing it. You've carried
yeah.
the torch, and I think you guys are gonna take the not just the genre, the sound, the energy that they
Yeah.
embody to new heights.
Oh,
I
thank
think
you very much.
Thank you.
It's
you so
on
much.
you guys to top what all those bands have done.
No pressure.
Yeah.
You
No
guys got
pressure.
it. You guys
We got
it.
this.
I'm telling you.
Greatest hits.
Telling you.
It's fine.
Greatest hits
We're
out
good.
now. Violet, you guys just dropped
Yeah.
Violet, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Like a week ago or so
Yeah.
before the album dropped. So
They were like, "That's too many singles." I was like, "Uh-uh."
no.
was like,
You
put it
guys
out.
had 6 of them, right?
Yo, we're dropping the video for it tomorrow.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Video for Violet drops
Yep.
tomorrow. Violet's out now. Greatest Hits is out now.
Greatest hits out now.
If anybody is confused, it is not their greatest hits.
Yes, it is.
It is our greatest hits.
I redact what I said. It is their greatest hits, but it is okay. I'm gonna stop, but you guys know what I mean, because it's technically not their greatest hits, but I mean, shit, it is.
But
their
it
greatest
technically
hits.
is,
This is
too.
a lose-lose. Man. Yo, I'm never interviewing Waterparks again.
I
So.
understand. This
This
happens.
is what I came into work for today. No,
Live
I'm playing.
Nation doesn't want me. You
I'm
don't want me.
playing. No, Dash Radio supported you guys since 2015. From what I
Thank
was
you for
told
that.
From
Yeah.
Mark Mosley upstairs. You guys were a band that we were honored to discover early, and now obviously everyone's discovered you guys. So it's only up from here. And
Thank you, man.
Thank
next
you
time
so
I
much.
talk to you guys, I think I'm going to begin the interview with Grammy Award-winning Waterparks. I have a good
Yes.
feeling this is
Yeah.
your guys' year for that.
Yeah.
Can you start it like that regardless?
Oh yeah.
Can you say when you sign off? Can you say platinum selling?
Platinum selling.
Yeah.
Future Grammy
No,
Award.
just say Grammy
Okay.
Award winner.
Yeah,
Manifest it
platinum
better.
selling, Grammy
Grammy
Award
Award-winning.
winning, life-changing,
Tall.
Nobel Peace Prize,
Handsome.
6 foot and above, handsome trio, Waterparks. Thank you guys so much for
I
coming
would listen
in.
to that band.
Thank you guys.